Hey guys, Jengar here. Welcome to another Devblog. Today we're looking at the Kawasaki Ki-32, a bomber of three armies. It's coming into the Japanese tree, of course, and this plane, like none of the other Devblogs so far, which I all looked forward to. This one I didn't know, so I also didn't have any build-up enthusiasm for this plane over the years. So it's kind of new to me, and well, let's take a look at her, shall we? Well, that was nice. It was a little less exciting than some of the fighter cutscenes, but for a bomber, I guess this is the best you can do. Very nice, looking good. Let's see what this plane has to offer. The Ki-32 is a Japanese light bomber developed in the mid-30s by the Kawasaki company to replace the outdated Ki-3 bomber, used extensively in the Asian theater of war before and after World War II. We've got a little bit of history here. The development of the Ki-32 began in May 36 after the Imperial Japanese Army asked Mitsubishi and Kawasaki to build a new light bomber. They hoped to replace the outdated Ki-3 biplane by the end of 36. This didn't happen. Both companies designed very similar aircraft. The distinction was that the Mitsubishi Ki-30 had a radial engine and the Kawasaki Ki-32 had an inline engine. The first Kawasaki Ki-32 prototype went into the sky for the first time in March 37, and the Ki-30 had that done a month earlier. Unfortunately for Kawasaki, their choice of engine caused a little bit of problems, and the Ki-30 was already ready for mass production when they were still dealing with cooling issues. This would have killed the Ki-32 project normally, but the Second Sino-Japanese War started in July 37 and demanded more aircraft to be built, and thus the Ki-32 was ordered in production alongside the Ki-30. This is good. In 38, Ki-38 entered production. It was called the Army Type 98 single engine light bomber, and production continued until 1940, served with the Japanese Army until 1942, and it was removed after that and became a training aircraft, and there were a few hundred produced between 38 and 40. Besides the Japanese, the Manchukuo Air Force used it, and also it was used in the Indonesian National Revolution, where Indonesian guerrilla captured a small number of Ki-32s from abandoned Japanese air bases. Alright, so the plane was used extensively and has a rich history, even though it was a short-lived one, only a few hundreds produced, but it looks like a fun little plane. It was named Mary, by the way, by the American code name Thinkers. The bombers and the attackers were all female, and the Ki-38 had Mary attached to it. In War Thunder, the Ki-32 will join the Japanese aviation research tree as a rank 1 light bomber, expanding the roster of interwar designs for both new and veteran players. So we'll have a trip down memory lane in the early ranks. Tier 1, always nice. Bombing is actually still fun in those battle ratings, let's say. It has a light airframe, which provides overall great handling. Well, for a bomber, obviously, it will probably not be as maneuverable as many of the fighters, with an 815 horsepower inline engine, which enabled it to reach pretty good top speed, impressive top speed, I actually say, of 423 kilometers an hour at low to medium altitudes. These characteristics are on par with contemporary aircraft from other nations, so it's not particularly fast, as they say. The Ki-38 is armed with a twin 7.7 machine guns, which seem to be positioned in the wings. I saw one on the other side of the wing. Yeah, here. Anyway, twin 7.7 machine guns, which could be alright, I say. controlled by the pilot, and another one by the rear gunner. It can also carry a maximum payload of 450 kg, spread across hardpoints under the wing, and an internal bomb bay for 450 kilos. Maybe they're just 50 kilo bombs as a maximum, who knows, they look pretty small as they are. While the payload may seem lacking, pilots should keep into mind that they're flying a light bomber and not an attack aircraft, and we should get the payload to the target, escape quickly, and destroying opportunity targets along the way back. Lingering around the combat area, they say, is not a good strategy for the Ki-32 pilots, because although it sports good maneuverability, it is not competitive with fighters, of course. Its lightweight frame cannot withstand much damage from ground fire or enemy fighters. So it's a torch and it's vulnerable. We gotta keep that in mind. Use your superior speed to strike fast and deal as much damage as possible before enemy fighters show up. Is it fast enough to run away? Begs the question. Probably not. It's gonna be a cannon fodder if you're not careful and if you're not lucky. And how much of the time will we be lucky? We'll have to find that out when the plane comes into the game. But the two 7.7s with some good aim can probably provide some cover. And we have a turret, so that's also nice, but it's only one 7.7. If you're engaged by hostile aircraft, we have to use the agility of the plane and the machine gun to buy time for teammates who can assist us while making our escape. They're not very positive so far about their plane. It looks like it's going to be a fragile plane, which is going to have to run for it. And I don't know, it probably gets, it's a light bomber, so it's not an attacker. It gets a bomber spawn, go into a dive, you'll reach the targets before the enemy does, throw your bombs and run back as soon as you can towards the nearest allies. Apparently that is going to be the basic gameplay in this plane. I never like it really much when I'm dependent on my allies, because you never know what your allies will do. But I guess we're going to have to see with the guns on this plane being able to, I don't know, well, it depends on the battle rating what we're going to see there, and how much you're going to use your guns and how maneuverable this plane actually is. It has fixed gear, so probably it won't be that maneuverable, let's say. But yeah, we have to get to our allies. One of the best non-combat features of the Ki-38 is that it's one of the best combat features is that it's easy to land, because its landing gear is always deployed. Any landing you or your gunner make and you can walk away from is a good one. And that is one of its best non-combat features. And so it can land easily. Very useful for SB, I guess. And the pilots there, the joystick users going for sim battles, they are going to have a lot of fun with this plane in that sense, landing. But for most people in AB and RB, this is not going to be any of the, this is not going to make a major difference. Overall, we've got a tier 1 Japanese bomber with 450 maximum load, 2 forward-facing guns and a turret in the game, which is probably going to be somewhere between 1.7 and 2.0 battle rating. And we'll see it come in the next update. The plane has a second skin, it seems like. Wonder if you can choose for that from the beginning or you have to earn it. Otherwise, the plane looks pretty nice for an early warplane. And we're going to have to see how it does. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I want to thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye. If you're new here, make sure to hit the subscribe button, become part of this community. If you are already a subscriber, don't forget to like the video, do leave me a comment, and if you really feel like helping out today, make sure to share the video with your friends and let them know about the channel.